Hello friends, we welcome you all to this ninth session of Unit 2 Digital Logic and Data Presentation. In our previous session, we had seen the data presentation systems. The data presentation systems are nothing but the various ways in which an output can be generated from a system. We have seen the outputs from a system can be indicator type or the recorder type. We saw the two types in our previous session. The indicator types just displays the output in the form of a light signal or using displays, etc. For that we saw LED displays and LCD displays also, and VDU forms one form of the display unit. And further, after the indicator types of data presentation systems, we saw display type, recorder type. So they recorded the information in the form of memory storage, CDs and hard disk, charts, graphs, etc. This type of output forms the recorder type. Printer is one form of recorder which records the digital data in the printed format. We saw printer mainly two types. One is the impact type, another one non-impact type. So in the impact type, there is a direct mechanical contact between the print head or the injector and the paper. In the non-impact type, there is no physical impact as such. Various technologies are used in order to create the print on the paper. The digital data is transformed onto the paper without using a mechanical impact. So for impact printer example, as an example, we saw a dot matrix printer, and the non-impact printer we have two types. One is the inkjet printer and another one is the laser printer. Dot matrix printer we discussed in our last class. Which employs the pins housed within an assembly called as print head. The pins range from 9 to 24. These pins physically contact the paper. Each pins are nothing but they are the rounded rods with very lesser diameter. They strikes the paper not directly but through the ink ribbon. When the pin strikes this ink ribbon, a dot is produced on the paper because of this ink ribbon. This type of printer is called as the impact printer because there is a direct impact of this pins on the paper through the ink ribbon. The letters developed will be collection of dots. We have seen in our last class itself. More closer the dots are, more fine is the print quality. So therefore we employ print heads with more number of pins in order to increase the print quality. The main disadvantage of the dot matrix printer was they are very noisy, very less in speed. The main advantage was we were able to localize the print in a sheet of paper we can print at the desired location that we want without disturbing the remaining areas, and also we can create a carbon copy, that is a duplicate copy, while printing the original copy itself, which is not possible with other types of printer. Generating a carbon copy is possible only with the impact type of printers. Till here we discussed in our last class. In this session we will be continuing our discussion with few more types of data presentation elements. We will be describing their characteristics, we will be understanding their working principles. When we say data presentation systems, throughout our session we will be seeing the various types of data presentation elements. We saw in the earlier sessions various types of data presentation elements. We are presently associated with the printers. We already saw dot matrix printer in detail. In this class we will be seeing inkjet and laser printers. They are called as non-impact type printers, both of them. We are going to have a simple understanding at the last on the data acquisition systems. To start with, let us try to understand what exactly is the inkjet printer. Before moving on to inkjet printers, everyone would have seen the color printers. The color printers or the flex printings, the large advertisement boards called as the flex boards, are generated or created the flexes using flex sheets, so which are printed using inkjet technology only. There we would have seen the print head with lot of ink tanks. They are called as cartridges or ink tanks with certain color ranges, which can later be mixed with each other in order to generate the multivariant colors. Here we will be having the printhead with basic colors which can be mixed later in order to get the various other colors. This printhead consists of these ink tanks and moves over the flex sheet or the paper. We call them as substrates. It moves over them in order to create the image. The image can be a grayscale, black and white, or the of colored type. This inkjet printer works on the concept of surface tension of the inkjet. Here we are able to see in this diagram a jet of ink from the nozzle is directed on the substrate or the paper. For example, we have a nozzle here from which a particular colored ink is flowing. Let us say this is the nozzle. Ink is flowing. The inkjet comes out from this nozzle and strikes the paper. So we have to select, the printer has to be very selective enough to strike the paper only at the desired location in order to create the print. The additional or the extra droplets will be collected using a suitable collector. Only the required quantity of the jet or the ink drops reaches the paper, thereby creating the prints. Here a digital image is created by propelling droplets of ink onto the paper or the plastic substrates. Fluid surface tension is the basic mechanism here which pulls a stream into the droplets. The drop sizes are very lesser. They are lesser to several times when compared to the diameter of our human hair. At the heart of the ink printer are a large number of high precision microscopic nozzles. They eject the ink onto the paper. The nozzle size varies from 10 micrometers in diameter, roughly 1/10 of the diameter of human hair. there are thousands of nozzles which work to print even a single letter. Fluids may be the ink. When we say fluids, that is nothing but the ink may be water based, wax or oil based, and even melted metal alloys can be used. This melted metal alloys are used only with the rapid prototyping device, which is the extension of this inkjet printing technology only. So when we talk about printers, it is very much enough to understand the water based, wax or oil based inks or fluids are used. The inkjet nozzles are mounted together on a moving carriage assembly that moves at a higher velocity. The velocity may range from more than 1 meters per second back and forth until it completes the paper or the entire sheet has been printed. Till that, the carriage assembly or the print head will be moving back and forth. The nozzle are mounted just above 1 millimeter from the paper, and ink ejection velocity ranges from 5 to 10 meters per second. The velocity ranges from 5 to 10 meters per second. That is the ejection velocity, and the jet to paper distance is 1 millimeters. Most drops can be electrically charged. The ink droplets are electrically charged in order to have a better control over them. There are two types of inkjet printers. One is continuous inkjet printers and another one is drop on demand type. Continuous inkjet and drop on demand type. So continuous inkjet means the flow pressurized and in a continuous stream. The flow is continuous. There is no intermittent flow in the continuous inkjet type printer. Here the printing speed is also very high. Whereas in the drop on demand, the fluid is expelled from the jet of nozzle drop by drop, that is one drop at a time. So with suppose if we consider the nozzle, the fluid will be propelled out continuously with the continuous inkjet, whereas in the drop by drop type, the fluid will come out drop by drop. This single drop of ink will reach the paper and the next drop gets ready for the next cycle. So there are various concepts with which the fluid is ejected from the nozzle onto the substrate or the paper. In order to push the fluid out from the nozzle onto the paper, a higher degree of control is necessary. The control are obtained by various technologies, that is by heating the ink, that is called as the thermal inkjet printer or bubble type printer also called as. Another technology that is widely being used is piezoelectric type inkjet printer, which uses the piezoelectric property of the piezoelectric material. Because of this piezoelectric effect, the ink from the nozzle is pushed out continuously as and when necessary. All this forms the drop on demand type printers. The piezoelectric inkjet printer, patented by Epson Technologies, uses a piezoelectric crystal. We know what exactly piezoelectric crystal is. Piezoelectric crystals like quartz vibrates when load is applied to it. that is when it is connected across a certain potential difference, it starts vibrating, that is repeated contraction and shrinking. It contracts and expands repeatedly. So this contraction and expansion, when controlled properly, can be used in order to push the liquid out from the nozzle. Here we have the nozzle wherein the liquid has to be pushed out in the form of droplet. Here we have the piezoelectric transducer. We would have got a thorough understanding of this piezoelectric transducer already from the first chapter itself. This piezoelectric transducer connected to a diaphragm, which is the flexible element which pushes the ink out because of this piezoelectric effect. More the applied voltage, more is the pushing effect. Because of this push, the ink comes out of the nozzle at certain velocity. It reaches the substrate or the paper. A crystal located at the back of the ink reservoir. Here we are able to see this is the ink reservoir. Ink enters from the ink tank into this nozzle. Here we have the piezoelectric material. At the back of the ink reservoir of the each nozzle, the crystal receives tiny electrical charge and it starts vibrating. This crystal, this is the piezoelectric crystal. We have seen many types: quartz, Rothschild salt, etc. This vibrates when it is connected to a voltage source. When the crystal vibrates inwards, it forces a tiny amount of ink out of the nozzle. When it vibrates inwards, it forces a tiny drop of liquid out. For example, if we consider this to be the diaphragm attached to a piezoelectric crystal and we have the nozzle here, when this vibrates, the diaphragm attached to it start pushing the fluid out. So therefore a droplet of fluid comes out, droplet of the ink comes out. When it contracts, that is it moves back, vacuum is created, thereby the new ink or the further ink enters into this nozzle chamber, thereby making the process continuous. This technology is patented by Epson companies. Let us understand this process with a simple video. So it uses the piezo print heads. So here we are able to see the piezoelectric crystal. When connected across a voltage source, it will see it contracts and relaxes, called as the vibration. It contracts and relaxes. A diaphragm is attached to it, called as the vibration plate, so which causes the ink to be pushed out. Here we are able to see, because of this continuous vibration, it expands inwards and makes the ink come out in the form of droplets. So this technology is still used in the Epson printers. So they create fine droplets, few thousands and millions of droplets per minute, in order to create the print at a faster rate. So this is the fundamental concept behind the piezoelectric inkjet printer. Next we saw a bubble type inkjet printer. In the bubble type inkjet printer, the ink comes out of the nozzle in the form of bubble itself, but the concept that is used is different. Here we are using the heat energy. In the previous case we used the piezoelectric effect. Now we are using the heat energy in order to make the ink droplets come out as the bubble. It is referred as the bubble jet type inkjet printer. Tiny resistors are used in order to create heat, and this heat vaporizes the ink in order to form the bubble. Now we have an heating element here, and the ink enters from the ink tank into the nozzle from top, and this has to be pushed out from this direction. The heating element is nothing but the resistors, which gets heated up when it is applied with suitable power source. This heat starts heating this ink locally around the heater. Therefore, vaporization starts. Because of this vaporization, a bubble gets formed within the nozzle. Because of the formation of this bubble, air bubble, few liquid gets pushed out in the form of a fine droplet. This air bubble creates a high pressure. Because of this pressure, the ink particles, here we are able to see a bubble is formed just beneath the heating element. So therefore, a fine ink droplet is generated, which is pushed outside. As the bubble expands, some of the ink is pushed out of the nozzle onto the paper. When the bubble pops or collapses, when this droplet has formed and gets out of the nozzle, the bubble formed inside will collapse at one particular point of time. Because of this collapsing, a low pressure is created, that is, a vacuum is created, because of which the new ink is once again taken into the nozzle. This vacuum created pulls more ink into the print head from the cartridge. The typical bubble jet print head has 300 to 600 tiny nozzles. We do not have a single nozzle, there are 300 to 600 tiny nozzles. This is same case with the Epson type piezoelectric inkjet printer also. In the print head, we have hundreds and thousands of print head depending on the printer type. The large printers will have many thousands of nozzles within their print head. Next is the laser printer. Laser printers are the most widely used technologies, as their output is very high. When we talk of output, the output in the form of papers per minute. Laser printers are the fastest type of printers, which can generate up to 6,000 to 12,000 sheets per hour. The laser printing is an electrostatic digital printing process. We call this as an electrostatic process, which we will be understanding it in our further discussions. It produces a high quality text and graphics and moderate quality photographs. When we say color print, the color print of inkjet type printers quality exceeds the laser printing quality. The laser printers are very much suited when we are printing with the grayscale, that is black and white printing. The Xerox company has a patent over this laser printing technology. A laser beam repeatedly passing back and forth over a negatively charged cylinder called as the drum. So here we have a drum, a rotating drum. We will understand this with the help of video. A laser beam continuously strikes over this rotating drum. It passes back and forth with the help of a mirror. We have a mirror here. This laser beam from its source is directed over this mirror. This mirror deflects such that this laser beam sensitizes the entire area of the drum. The drum then selectively collects electrically charged powder. The drum has the negative charge attached with it, so which attracts the toner powder or powder from the cartridge or the ink, which again is transformed to the paper. The paper is made to roll around this drum. Under this drum, the toner attached to the drum is therefore transferred to the paper. Once the toner has transferred once the drum has transferred all the powder that is attached to it onto the paper, this is still not permanently fused, and hence it has to be dried so that it gets fused permanently. The text or image has to be dried instantaneously. So therefore, the next stage will be the drying stage, and finally the output comes, which we can feel it will be slightly hot in nature because of the dryer. The image formed by the reflecting light of an existing document onto the exposed drum. Here, a laser light image formed by the reflecting light of an existing document onto the exposed drum. The laser used may be typically aluminum galvanide arsenide semiconductor laser type, because this generates the red ultraviolet type laser. The laser beam projects on the image of the page to be printed on a electrically charged selenium coated rotating drum. It is simply called as the drum. It is a photoconductor. It is made out of vinyl carbazole. Photoconductivity allows the charged electrons to fall away from the areas exposed to the light. The powdered ink, also called as the toner, particles are then electrostatically attracted to the charged areas of the drum that have not been laser beamed. The drum then transfers the image onto the paper, which is passed through the machine by direct contact. The drum has a physical contact with the paper. The paper is passed on to the finisher, which uses heat to instantaneously fuse the toner that represents the image on the paper. The laser beam projects on the image of the page to be printed. The drum is a solenoid coated rotating drum. It is called as the photoconductor. The photoconductivity allows the charged electrons to fall away from the area exposed to the light, which we have seen. The powdered ink particles are electrostatically attracted to the charger. The drum transfers the image onto the paper by the physical contact, because the drum has the toner powder attached to it at the localized portions, which forms the mirror image of the document or the letters or the image to be printed. The paper is passed on to the finisher, which uses heat instantaneously to fuse the toner that represents the image onto the paper. We understand this using a simple video. So here we have the laser printing technology. Here we are able to see the laser image. So here the rotating mirror, the beam of laser falling on the drum. It is called as the photoconductor drum because it conducts the light, laser light. So this is the photoconductor drum. We are able to see the laser creating the electrostatic images of the document or the image to be printed. This electrostatic letters or portion attracts the toner. Here we are able to see the toner fed from the developer roller. This developer roller attaches the toner onto the electrostatic portion of the photoconductor drum, or simply it is called as the drum. So here we are able to see the blackened portions where the toner powder is getting attracted and it attaches to the drum. When the paper passes underneath the photoconductor drum, the toner attached to it get transferred to the paper. Once so here we are able to see the fuse roller, so which finishes the toner that is attached on the paper. It dries and finishes and creates a good quality image on the paper. So this is the fundamental concept working behind the laser printer. So in our session today, we have seen printers, inkjet printer and the laser printer. We saw the dot matrix printer in brief, which we had discussed in our previous session. We saw inkjet printer. We understood how it works with the help of a simple video. And we also saw laser printer, how it is better and faster compared to other types of printer, and the fundamental concept behind the working of laser printer. So, and we have to conclude the laser printer is the fastest type of printer that is available today. So with this understanding, we will solve some simple multiple choice questions. First one, why is the print drum given a negative charge? The print drum on the laser printer is given negative charge because it has to attract the toner powder. Option A, to attract the toner to every area of the drum. Option B, to attract the toner to the areas of the drum that have stronger negative charge. Attract the toner to the areas of the drum that have weaker negative charge. To attract the positively charged paper to the print drum. So answer is to attract the toner to the areas of the drum that have a weak negative charge. Option C is the right answer. All the options appear similar. We have to understand the attract the toner powder to the areas that have the weak negative charge, that is the darker portions of the drum. Question 2, at what voltage is the paper charged? So the paper is charged, it's a direct question. The paper is charged at a voltage of plus 600 volt DC. Third question, what causes the ink to vaporize in the inkjet printer? Very simple question. The ink vaporizes in the inkjet printer. We have to remember, one is option A is electric pulse, B is the heating element within the ink cartridge, C solenoid in each chamber of the ink cartridge, D drying of the ink when the cartridge has not been used for some time. Vaporization, we have to understand, vaporization of the ink is created only by the heating. So therefore option B, heating element within the ink cartridge, is the right answer, because electrical pulses will not vaporize the inkjet. A solenoid will only mechanically push the ink jet, it won't vaporize. Therefore option B is the right answer. Option D is no way connected to the vaporization. Therefore option B is the right answer for third question. Fourth question, what is the another name for a dot matrix printer? So dot matrix printer is also called as the impact type printer because it has a direct mechanical contact with the paper. Therefore it is called as the impact printer. Option A is the right answer. Fifth question, how many pins were there in the early dot matrix print heads? Early dot matrix print heads Before seeing the early, dot matrix printed has 9 to 24 pins. The early dot matrix printers, whose resolution was very lesser, had only 9 print heads. So option A is the right answer. Sixth question. Laser printer is a type of. Laser printer is a type of option A, impact printing, non-impact printing, both of the above, none of the above. We know laser printer is a type of non-impact printer. Dot matrix was an impact type printer, but laser and inkjet both are non-impact printer. Option B is the right answer. Seventh question. Image quality or print resolution of a printer is measured in. The image quality or print resolution is measured with option A, it is dots per inch, DPI. So this is papers per minute. It is no way connected with image quality. Therefore, option A, DPI, dots per inch, is connected with the resolution of the printer. More the DPI, more is the quality of the print. Eighth one, a corona wire placed parallel to the drum is a primary charge roller, B feeds the paper, C makes the drum rotate, D feeds laser. So option A is the right answer. It is a primary charge roller. Option A is the right answer. So we thank you, and we'll be meeting you in our next session with few more topics.